going to the big man camp every year was like going back to Mecca. It was going to a basketball Mecca and hearing about, this is the way we play. This is how the game is played. These are the basics. And you would take those basics and then you could create complexities off of that. But you felt like this isn't about somebody trying to get paid. This isn't about somebody trying to make a name. They're not trying to sell a DVD. This is about, do you want to learn about basketball? You want to know how it's played at the highest level? You want to learn how to play it at the highest level? We got this little thing going on the island of Oahu. Come on down and get part of it. It was interesting because I would see these guys in camp, and then I'd see them through the course of the year. And you could see them taking pieces from the camp and applying them. You'd see a guy with footwork on the baseline that you think, that was something Pete drilled this guy on. And he took it back with him, and now he's applying it to his game, and it's changed his value. I'll never forget Tayshaun Prince coming out. He was a forward in college, and people don't remember, but there were real questions. He was a late first-round pick, whether he could play or not. And I got to see him at the camp, and he had it. He had it all. And he could face up. He could be a big man who could play outside, shoot, drive, pass. And I looked at that and I went, man, this guy, and the way and his attention to detail with Pete was unrivaled. If you wanted to know about the game, no matter who you were, Pete Newell was going to take the time to talk to you. And I'd like to think some of this came from my parents as well. But certainly, anytime I have a writer come to me or anybody who asks, how do I do what I do? I make sure I take the time. And part of that is because of the way I was raised, but part of that is because of Pete Newell, because of what he demonstrated to me and how valuable that was to me, and how I saw that what he's done essentially is just pass it on. He's a steward of basketball. You understood that Pete would welcome anybody, and he would talk to anybody. But it wasn't until you really passed Merv's test.
Merv like the gatekeeper.
Merv was the gatekeeper. That's exactly right. Merv, he saw everybody coming to see Pete, but then Merv would look through the crowd and go, okay, that one's real. Okay, that one's not real. Okay, we keep that one. Okay, that one maybe doesn't get a call back. And so you had to get Merv's respect, and then you were really in. And again, more than anything, Pete Newell was all about relationships. Relationships on the basketball court and how they work, how players interact, how they use the time and space around them, and how people work together. That was the heart of it. And Merv and Pete, going back as far as they did, and the way they worked together seamlessly, and the stories they would tell, there was something so genuine and pure about these two old guys doing what they do, and everybody seeing it, that you wanted to be a part of that. You just looked at it and maybe you couldn't quite define what it was that made it so attractive, but it was, and you wanted to be close to it, and you wanted to protect it.